Scrapbook and we want to talk about Vocaloid Lumi. Lumi is a Japanese Vocaloid from the Vocaloid 4 era. We were introduced to her in May of 2017. During that time, all we had was a bust-up of Lumi. No one had any idea that she was actually inspired by jellyfish. No one except for me, of course, because I was like, oh, those look like ocean waves around her. Haha, and I was so right. I woke up the next day to all my Twitter mutuals being like, Robin, wake up! You were right, she's a mermaid! Well, kind of. Anyway, so she's a jellyfish. She is based specifically on the Turritopsis jellyfish. It's also known as the immortal jellyfish. Basically, at any stage in its life, it can go back to being a baby. Kind of like a phoenix, but a lot less violent. Okay, so when Lumi was initially revealed fully to us, we understood that she was supposed to have some shrine-maiden elements. Her character had a lot of themes surrounding Buddhism and life and death. She was also like one of the most, if not the most, beautiful Vocaloid designs ever. I know that's very subjective, but I swear, she's very pretty. And at the time, she was very different for Vocaloid, design-wise anyway. During the Vocaloid 4 era, a lot of Vocaloids that came out during the time came with multiple voice banks. That was because of a feature called cross-synthesis. Basically, you could blend two different voice banks together to get a whole different sound. It was meant to give users more control of the voice banks. You could make them softer or more powerful or more emotional. However, Lumi was kind of an outlier in that she only had one voice bank. Pretty much every Japanese Vocaloid at the time had more than one voice bank. So between the ethereal jellyfish design and the lack of multiple voice banks, Lumi was kind of strange. She was developed by a new company called Akatsuki Virtual Artists, or AVA. And AVA was really excited for Lumi. She was voiced by Japanese actress Ohara Sayaka, and she was made into 3 recording sessions. Now, Lumi was actually completed after only 1 recording session, but they came back 2 more times to make her even better. As a result, it's really easy to manipulate Lumi's phonemes. A lot of Japanese Vocaloids tend to struggle when you try to change the phonemes and make them sing in an unnatural way in Japanese. Lumi doesn't really have that problem nearly as much. She actually shares that with Vocaloid Chica as well. Anyway, so when we first met Lumi, she had no official age yet. We knew she was a jellyfish, she had ties to life and death. And then a few weeks later, they were like, oh yeah, by the way, she's 15. Yeah, they started to backtrack a little bit with her. A lot of it. They sort of backtracked the jellyfish design and gave her a middle schooler design, where she's no longer in her iconic white kimono, but just in a normal middle school uniform. They still marketed both designs, but it was clear they kind of favored the middle school one a bit more. It almost felt like Ava was scared that the jellyfish design was too outlandish. Again, at the time, Lumi's jellyfish design was extremely unique in Vocaloid, and there were some creative differences amongst the team at Ava. It was so bad that the founder of Ava ended up leaving in 2018. Okay, so backtracking a little bit. Lumi was initially conceptualized a lot closer to being a jellyfish. She basically had no face and looked more like an actual jellyfish trying to imitate a human. As a character, Lumi does have quite a bit of lore. She's a jellyfish shrine maiden that came to the human world. She has a goal to spread hope to humanity in order to become a goddess. In the meantime, she takes on the form of a normal human girl. Lumi released in June of 2017. There was also a song contest with Lumi in the very beginning, and so she also had a free 30-day trial. The trial is still available, but it's only for 14 days now. When Lumi debuted, she had 2 different boxes. Your standard DVD box that I showed in the beginning, as well as a very special box with a really interesting shape. It was pretty uncommon for Vocaloids to have uniquely shaped boxes, and when they did, it was a pretty big deal. Unfortunately, now in 2024, neither of her boxes are available. She is a download-only product now. When the founder of Ava left, one of his parting gifts was telling us about another character in Lumi's lore. This character is Vino. We never got a design or anything, but we know he was based off of a seahorse. It's unclear if Vino was supposed to be another Vocaloid or just a character in Lumi's lore, and unfortunately in around 2019, Ava backed out of Vocaloid. They stopped marketing Lumi, they stopped posting about her, they just stopped. They did make a tweet in 2021 where they said they had something planned for Lumi, but then nothing ever happened. Lumi was the Vocaloid of summer 2017, and then she drops into total obscurity, which is a shame because she's beautiful. Vocaloido.